Alright, I guess I'm alone. Oh, I was already streaming. Okay. Stupid me. Oh well, nobody's watching anyways. Alright, so there's one person. Hello. Uh, Only me today for Outside the Hash. Kyle and Nate are gone, so, I am, just gonna start things off with the, fun leagues here. I didn't do SR's rest ratings because, I was busy this week, so I didn't get the chance to fill anything out. Unfortunately. So, AAL2, still was not up to date on the schedule, so missed 2 games there. Oh well. Carolina Predators lost to the Tri-City River Gators 12-8. Me and Nate picked up that Kyle lost. Michigan Avengers beat the Pittsburgh Outlaws to stay so the Outlaws are going to stay winless so far this season, 24-22. Georgia Indians Mississippi Wolfpack in a shootout, 46-42. I have no proof in Northern Cal games played this week. Jersey Bearcats swamped the War Eagles 40-14, and then Steel City beat the Roughnecks 34-12. So yeah, so there's that. The season so far, and didn't put anything here, and this is my most reliable source for some of these leagues. So, games this week, definitely Georgia Indians are going to smoke the Preds. Jersey's the best team in this league. War Eagles versus the Roughnecks. Probably go Roughnecks here. I'll say Michigan beats their non-league opponent. I don't know if these games are happening. And I'll just assume that the best team wins, and then the league team beats the semi-pro team. So, yeah. Nothing this week, AIF, because they're off. They play the championship this week then, though. So, be on the lookout for that. Western Michigan versus Coralville. Should be a decent one. Major League Rugby, my one game that I covered was San Diego beating LA 38-36. According to Vegas, it's an upset, but me and Kyle would both pick San Diego, so that Judd Holloway and Brad Wilkins were your points leaders. Reese McDonald had the most meters made. Most tackles were Brad Wilkins. Pretty even tackle matchup. Pretty even on possessions too. Same amount of tries. The difference was making your conversions. So making 4 of 6 beat making 3 of 6. No penalty goals. Big difference in penalties conceded. San Diego was a little bit more penalty prone. Just played mostly in their territory. But they came away with the win. In fact, it looks like Meekins is okay now. So LA just made it a little bit less embarrassing at the end, is what it looks like at 77 minutes in. The other scores around the league, I guess I can show it through my spreadsheet because I at least show some stats, things, and some. So game that was going on while we were, or a game that went on the night before, New England beat LA. The game that going on while we were streaming last week, Anthem smoked Seattle. No, oops, that's the other way around. I'm stupid. Seattle smoked Anthem 60-19. Houston beat Old Glory. Utah beat Chicago. Womp womp to my Hounds. San Diego beat LA, which is what I did. NOLA beat Seattle. So, because of the games early in the week, we played games later in the week. NOLA beat Seattle, so maybe Seattle was a little bit gassed from scoring 60 on Anthem to their detriment, and then Anthem was just still bad, so they got smoked by Miami, 31-5. So, a real bad week for Anthem, getting outscored 24 to 91 in a week. That's rough. New England, Chicago, 1-2 in the East there. Pretty neck and neck. Same thing over in Houston, Utah, neck and neck. 1 point difference between the both of them. Utah game played one less game though, so theoretically they'll hop them when they play the same amount of games. Stats leaders. Here's how that looks so far in the season. And we will hop on over to the NAL. The game that I is covering is Beaumont beating Sioux City 38-35. It was a last second play to win the game. They took the lead with no time remaining. So big win for Beaumont beating the reigning champions. They continue their undefeated season. Sioux City is off to a little bit of a slow start. So yeah, Carl Robinson, this man is just tearing up the league. 14-19, 131, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. He also had 77 rushing yards. So he was getting it done. Vernon Reed, 6 of 11, 70 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. Prohask, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, I think Sioux City's, considering how well they played Beaumont, I think they're going to turn the page upcoming. So, anyways, Colorado beat Columbus, I think, in my humble opinion, because Vincent Espinoza had to play the majority of the game. So, but Colorado's passing game was not great because Andre Sale is still out. But Rosario had 61 rushing yards, and Robinson came with 47 receiving yards to lead the team, or to lead the game. Idaho smoked their non-league opponent that counts, Las Vegas, 62-24. And then there's the game that I did, Beaumont beating Sioux City. I'm going to do Colorado in hopes that Andre Sale's back, because I think if Sale's back, they're going to be fine. Omaha's going to beat their non-league opponent. Sioux City is going to beat Idaho, and Beaumont will beat Shreveport. So, yeah. Beaumont leading the American, and then Omaha leading the National. Here's how the pick'em looks at the moment. And then we can hop over to the league leaders. Carl Robinson leading the league in passing. Also in passing touchdowns. Rojas is leading the league in rushing yards, but Carl Robinson right behind. So, yeah, I think he's probably your front runner for MVP right now. Kyler Henson leading all the receiving for Idaho. And then the defensive stats, I'm not sure is always up to date. So, yeah. On to Arena Football 1. The big news story coming out of that. This was, of course, Albany beating the piss out of replacement scab players for Corpus Christi, who has since pretty much released their entire team. So they're pretty much done. So they were playing with replacement players, and they got smoked. 112. Castronova played one drive. They scored, and then Robert McCoy came in and played the rest of the game. His completion percentage not great, but 7 touchdowns, so, you know, you win some, you lose some. Dwayne Brown, 3 touchdowns. Marcus Quaid, 2 touchdowns. Townsend had a touchdown. Hickenbottom with a touchdown, a defensive boy. We like to get those big man touchdowns. But, yeah. Also, big news story with Henry Neal over here. Hitting 6 of 6 drop, or 6 of 8 drop kick extra points, so those 2 points. And then he also had 5 deuces, so this man was just stacking up points. But yeah. Other scores around the league was the Salina Liberty beating the Billings Outlaws pretty surprisingly, 43-37. Billings was the favorite. They are the reigning champions. They have been slow, and they were playing old man Danny Southwick. Big news story, though, with Corpus Christi falling apart is that they're allegedly going to sign Darius Prince and Dwayne Hollins. So they're gonna rebound massively there. They just need to get a quarterback back. Washington beat Oregon in a tale of two halves, basically. So Washington went up big, and then in the first half, I think it might have been 41-0 or something like that, and then it was like 30 unanswered points for Oregon. So they almost made a comeback, but did not. So, and then they'll run it back next week in a rematch in Washington. And then Nashville beat Southwest Kansas in a pretty good game. Tyler Kolka, 218, leading in passing, Wright leading in rushing, and Grant with receiving yards. So I'm going to go Billings. I'm going to go, I guess, Washington, just because they're home now and they won last game. But I guess they were doing worse in the second half, but whatever. This is an upset chance, because Selena's, now that they have a better quarterback, is much improved. So, and then Albany might just be riding high on their absolute murder fest of Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi's off this week, and maybe they'll just go bunk during it. Who knows, right? I forgot to put how we did. Oh well. I don't think it really changed anything. I did the best, so I don't think, yeah. Okay, on to, I guess, standings, obviously. Albany's up top, Nashville, Corpus Christi, they're probably going to be dead, so we can just ignore them. Nashville also has, like, a lawsuit involving them with ownership groups and stuff, but hopefully I think this is the season. Southwest Kansas, Billings, Salina, Washington, Oregon. Top 6 teams make the playoffs. Stats leaders, Jalen Morton, so he is doing pretty good, but Castronova is still probably my MVP. Quarterback on the best team in the league, so yeah. This is also slightly hampered by the Corpus Christi cuts because the stats don't include the people that have been cut. So there. Alright. AIFL, Australian football. The game I did was my Magpies beating the Bombers 107-66. As you can see, it was mostly Pies. It was a close game. First, second quarter, third quarter. Even Aston took the lead at one early in the third, but then from then on out, the Magpies pulled away. So Magpies moved the ball a little bit more, especially via handballs, and then they moved it a little bit, quite a bit more inside the 50. Efficiency rates, they were slightly behind overall, but slightly ahead in inside the 50, and then they were doing good at breaking up Eston's. Eston did have the lead in free kicks, though. Hitouts lean towards Eston, with the rest of stoppages lean towards the Pies. Pretty much same number of contested throws, contested possessions. Magpies really moved it when there was nobody to fight them, I guess. Turnover is just about the same. And then possession was all Pies. So, yeah. So, 16-10, 11-6, 120 minutes ahead. So, yeah. No big surprises that they came away victorious there. Other scores from around the league. The Melbourne Demons beat the Tigers 83-63. Fremantle beat the Crows 85-67. Brisbane beat the Saints 118-73. Port Adelaide beat the Kangaroos 97-88. Western upset GWS 113-81. Gold Coast handled the Swans 117-79. Carlton upset the Cats 94-76, and Hawthorn beat West Coast 124-74. Your top 8 did not change, so it's the same top 8 teams as last week. So, standings are pretty much unaffected this week, but, still a long season ahead. Whitfield's leading in fantasy points per game. Ben King is leading in goals. That's not really surprising. Tom Green leading disposals. Christian Salam in marks. Tom Atkins in tackles. Alrighty. On to the Indoor Football League. I had my Quad City Steamwheelers beating the Jacksonville Sharks 62-41 in a decent game. So Daquan Neal, 6 of 10. Not very passing much, but for very efficiently, 130, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, so half of his incompletions were interceptions, which is unfortunate. Caleb Barker, a little bit under 50% completion percentage, but 178, a touchdown, a pick. Their backup came in and also played pretty decent. Eddie Vander having a pretty good homecoming game against Quad City there, getting 68 yards and 2 touchdowns. But his replacement in Quad City wasn't too shabby himself. 54 yards and a touchdown, and then Daquan also carrying the ball some for a touchdown of his own. Any big shakeups here? I see not particularly. Kyle Kaplan made his one kick. Other scores around the league were San Antonio losing to Vegas 35-28. Guy Myers got the start, so I think San Antonio has finally made the right decision switching over, though. Because I feel Guy Myers is a better indoor quarterback than Malik Henry. Because Myers got the mobility. As you can see, he also led the game in rushing, but they did lose. Iowa put up their once a season 70 points game for no reason over Fisher 68-37. Arizona handled Northern Arizona 49-20. Green Bay beat Massachusetts 47-35. There was also some news involving the Pirates. They have hired the former San Antonio Gunslingers head coach Tom Banath to be their new head coach. They were running on an interim with their current head coach because their original head coach dropped out a week before the season started. So them picking up Banath should be a pretty good move because he's a good indoor coach. We'll see if that taints their defense and pumped up their offense. So, and then San Diego beat Tucson 45-22. So let's go to, I guess I can show the standings on here. Quad City leading the East, followed by Green Bay and Jacksonville at 2 and 3. Both are the only ones above 500. And then Arizona and Bay Area are the ones above 500 over in the West. Vegas and Diego are both at 500. Stats leaders, I'm still not sure if this is all the way up to date or not yet. It might be. Yeah, 4 games for the Rattlers. That's right. Okay, I think they finally got all the games up to date. Caleb Barker leading the league. Dalton Sneed. Kenji Behar. Some of these names are backwards. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, receiving. Who's the receiving leader? Kion Williams, Quentin Rudolph, Isaiah Houston. Rushing, Jai Wright, Daquan Neal, T.J. Edwards, Maxwell Air, John Lewis. Okay, no surprises there. Really, Kenji Behar has a lot of rushing touchdowns. That team just has not been winning games. Nothing really. Okay. I think that just about does it for that. We will head on to the UFL. Obviously, the big game here was Memphis beating Birmingham in overtime. A big upset. I think this is a plus 500 spread. So, or outright for Memphis. Dresser gets the win in his first start. 235. Case Cook is a little rusty, having not played in a while. 15, 33, 145 to touchdown the pick. Did have 83 yards on the ground, though, and did lead them back to tie things up to go into overtime, but were unable to score in overtime, so Memphis won the shootout. Do I have anything else I wanted to say on that? Oh, the big plays for Memphis winning the game was a big touchdown at the very beginning of the game, 78-yard touchdown, and then they had a where is it? Yeah, the missed field goal kick return touchdown at the end of the first half. So that is kind of what killed them. So two big mistakes is what did Birmingham in. So I wouldn't panic just yet. Hopefully Cookis will rebound, but their offense has been so bad this year. Their defense is great. Their offense has been woof. Magoo getting hurt really screwed them over, honestly. other scores around the league was St. Louis beating Michigan because Mike Nolan won't leave Bryce Perkins in the game. He loves Danny Etling for some reason and will constantly throw him in for no reason. Etling had a pick, so screwing things up for no reason. DC beat Arlington in a pretty good game. Tamu with over 300 yards. I think that might be the first 300-yarder this season. And then the Houston Gamblers smoked San Antonio 27-3. McClendon, after coming in last week after Nolan Henderson got hurt, has been playing great. So maybe he should have been their starter the whole season and not third string. We will see as they come into the next season. I realized I haven't made my picks for the last two leagues, so let me hop back real quick and get those done, because this is what happens when I'm by myself. I ramble and then I forget things. I'm going to do Eston. I'm going to do Fremantle. Yeah, I'll go Western. I'll go Adelaide. I will go Collingwood. I will go I will go Melbourne. No, I don't want to cheer for the Demons. All my homies hate Demons. I'll go GWS. I'll go Hawthorn. And then I'll go Gold Coast there. Just so you know, it's in Brisbane. Or Brisbane is the listed home team. I'll go Brisbane. IFL. Did not hop up the I just fell apart on the spreadsheet, didn't I? Good thing nobody else is here to see me having messed that up. Okay, Quad City. I'll go Jacksonville. I'll go Green Bay. I will go Vegas. I will go Arizona. And then I will go Bay Area. Alright, UFL. I will go St. Louis in St. Louis. I will go Battle of the backups who both have played well. Probably Houston. And then I gotta go USFL. And then I have to go USFL. Alrighty. Now we can go to stat leaders and standings. Yeah, BC's leading the XFL. Michigan, Birmingham are tied at the top of the USFL. Stat leaders. That's total yardage. Actually, that's rushing. Alright. Kalen Ballage for Arlington is leading the league in rushing yards, followed by Sailors and McFarland. Tamu, Perez, Perkins, despite the fact Perkins constantly is not playing, somehow still third in passing yards. Like, how do you have this stat line and still getting benched for this? You know? So dumb. Jonathan Adams leading in receiving. Mariner, Roland. It's just total offense. Matt McCrane, most field goals. Blankenship, though, still perfect. So, doing pretty good there. Destroying replacement was 1 for 1 on his one attempt, but it wasn't a very long one. Team stuff. Okay. Big thing this week. Actually, there's two things. The LFA kicks off this week. Nobody else is here, so I'm not going to do any previewing. I guess we'll just preview when everybody's here. So we'll miss the first week, but so be it. This is Nate's favorite league, so I'm sure he really wants to talk about his Caudillos. So the league kicks off on the 2nd with the Archangels, the new team in the league, playing the Galos Negros. These games should be on YouTube. They were on YouTube last year and the year before, so I don't think they've changed anything. But it's an ever changing landscape, especially with like the NAL YouTube channel getting nuked. But I should expect them to be on their YouTube channel. So this is how the LFA finished last year. The Caudillos went undefeated. Followed by the Mexico's Raptors, Dinos, Fundidores, who changed their names, but I will continue to detonate them. They're the Osos now, but I preferred the Fundies, so I'm going to detonate them like I do the Roughnecks. Jefes, which have went dormant, Galos Negros, and the Galgos, which also went dormant, and then the Reyes. Caudillos finishing their second consecutive undefeated season. The big story coming out of that, though, was Jeremy Johnson has retired. So there will be a new quarterback under center for the Caudillos. But my boy Shelton Epler did return, so Shelton Epler season, in my opinion, has just begun. The Galgos Negros were okay last year, so I'll do that. And then I'm going to do my Fundies, I'm going to do my Caudillos, and then I'll go Mexicas. And then the X League also kicks off their spring season, which isn't very long. It's just a couple games. The rosters are not quite the same as they were last year because some of their players play. Some of their imports play in American Spring Leagues. Like Obik sequel starting quarterback Tyler Kolka is playing for Nashville right now. So we'll see if he comes back when the fall season kicks off, though. So here's a little bit of luck. So there's the Pearl Bowl, which is a tournament, just a straight tournament, and then there's, I believe this is the Green Bowl, which is, I believe, the West Division plays in this. So they all just kind of play each other once. And then there's El Kama is also playing. El Kobe is playing a college team later next month, or 2 months from now. So we'll get that when we get there. But we can pick the Panasonic, definitely. I'm going to go Tokyo. I'm going to go Nojima. I'm going to go Fujitsu. And then I think I will go... So yeah, like this is a big... a big thing because Tyler Kolka's not for Obik anymore. So I'll go IBM, Why not? So, I don't got anything else to say. Quick episode because nobody showed up. I will talk to you guys